Hello, and thank you for tuning into the Stuff I Heard podcast. I'm your host, Joshua Peak, and I just want to give a big shout out to the Carolina Gamecocks and a local phenom. Can we call him a phenom yet? I don't know. Lenore Sellers from South Florence, great quarterback. He is now quarterbacking for the Gamecocks, and they won yesterday against a trucking company. I didn't know that
That
old.
would that's a college.
Listen, I didn't know that Old Dominion had a college where they had football players, but it's kind of cool that a trucking company has its own college. I didn't see any other trucking companies out there with colleges, but they weren't wearing the green like I thought they would. I know they're a successful trucking company and all that, but yeah, they almost beat the Carolina
Like I
Gamecocks
said, it
at
has
home.
nothing to do with the truck.
I
I,
listen.
you've been watching football for how many years?
I've never noticed Old Dominion before.
Seriously?
It's almost like they came up with
Well,
a.
now are they in the same?
No, they're not in the same league. They're like in
They're
the
like Coastal
Georgia
Carolina.
Southern.
They're like Coastal Carolina, right?
No, Coastal Carolina's moved up to the big leagues.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're that good. But like
Well,
they're in the
yeah, I knew they
Georgia
were good.
Southern range or the Akron range or the Southern Miss
Okay,
range.
so technically, well, I guess we've.
They shouldn't have been in contention for the game. I mean, it was kind of like it's kind of like the Carolina Gamecocks have this ability to like play down to their talent.
No, no, I don't think that's an ability.
Like
That's
they
not.
want to
If
they
that's an ability, it's not an ability that I'd want to
I
claim.
call it like Southern charm. Like, oh, good. We just listen. We want you guys to be happy you're here. We know that it's a bigger school and you're getting paid to play us. So, like, make a run for it. Like, we'll let you get a
No, I
touchdown or
mean
two.
it's no football team holds back when they can run the score up.
I don't
No
know.
football
I
team.
think the Gamecocks seriously have the special ability to play tough when it's a tough opponent, and then just kind of just lay around and
No,
be like a cat
you
batting a
better hope so
ball.
because I don't. I hadn't actually looked at the schedule for this year,
It's
but
not good.
yeah,
We're playing some pretty tough opponents. It's going to be a rough
yeah, you
season.
better hope they show. I mean, they better be playing first class when they play Georgia this year
Yeah.
because it appears they're loaded again.
Yeah, it appears that the Georgia Bulldogs are going to be somewhat to contend with. I guess the only good thing to come out of this weekend is the fact that they played Clemson and just beat the tar out of
Yeah,
Clemson. I mean,
there's
because
that.
here we have that whole rivalry thing between these schools, and I don't know, I don't feel like one of those people that's like, I'm never pulling for Clemson. Some of these people are like that. I like the local kids. I like the fact that I have friends that went to both colleges. I like both schools essentially. But I like pulling for the Gamecocks because it's fun and it gives
I
me something
yeah,
to do.
I my thoughts on all of that's changed over the years. I mean, it doesn't. Good football is good football.
Good football is good football, and we've seen some good football this weekend. Well, I did. I was able to catch a lot of highlights and whatnot. But yeah, ESPN is full of some incredible plays right now, and I've been watching that since early this morning. So anyway, I kind of skipped over the fact that I got my wife in here with me today, Dolores. Hi, baby doll.
Hi, baby doll.
She's
I
like
did see a few TikToks. Yeah, I guess it was last night where I did not realize that Nick Saban is doing what is that
college game day.
college game day? Yeah,
Yeah. Well, they want
which that was
somebody.
already a really good cat. Which they need.
Sure.
Is he going to be a regular or is he going to be
He is on contract to be a regular for the
good?
show because he is so knowledgeable. I mean, he's a Hall of Fame
Oh yeah,
coach.
there's no doubt about it. Did
So,
you see the? He actually he actually said something about something yesterday, and Kirk Herbstreit, is that his name? He, I can't remember. The quote was about money, about something about $20 million, and Saban made the comment about basically about spending $20 million. If you don't spend it, then you don't have shit or something along those lines. And I mean, the whole panel just cracked up. And Kirk made a comment. He like reached over and shook his hand and he said, "You just broke the internet." And of course, that TikTok, I looked at it last night and I want to say it had some ungodly millions of views. But like I don't remember, like, I don't know exactly what the quote was, but they were talking about money, and he basically said, "If you don't spend it, you don't get the talent." So,
mm,
which makes sense. It is
it
what it is.
does.
I mean,
Yeah. Well, and Clemson, Dabo Sweeney has said that he does not like the NIT. He doesn't want to spend money for talent. He thinks that kids should want to play for good colleges and good coaches. and he just got handed his NIT butt yesterday by a team
Yeah,
that's
I
willing to
mean,
spend
that's
money.
not the world we live in anymore. So
Nope.
I mean,
But that's also one of the decisions why Saban decided to get out. He was like, I think this time has passed me. I think I've done what I need to do, and I'm retirement age, and it's a good time to get out. I did see the only TikTok thing that I saw was him sitting next to Pat McAfee when everything was starting, and Pack is getting all hyped up, and he's starting to dance with the crowd, and Saban's like this the whole time, looking at his little clipboard, and he's like writing stuff down, and it says two types of energy, and it shows McAfee's just going off like a little child, and Nick's just like, I'm ready.
yeah, I want to say McAfee is who had might have been his TikTok account that it was posted on.
Oh yeah.
That I saw it. That I saw it. I mean, I'm
Well,
sure it's out there all over the place, but I did not actually watch. I didn't think about I do like to watch College Game Day
I
sometimes.
do too.
I mean, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
I did not catch it yesterday. Honestly, it did not click to me that it's football season already. I guess because it's still
Well, and
flipping
also
100 degrees.
I didn't do my normal. It's college game day. Let's watch it. I mean,
Yeah.
I got out early to try to do some yard work because I've kind of neglected the yard work, and I blame Mother Nature. Mother Nature has been sort of rough. We had a lot of heat. I mean, an abnormally amount of heat for South Carolina.
Well, I want to say the one week we had a little bit of a break, something was going
We
on.
had
I
a
mean,
hurricane.
well, I mean, no, I'm saying you've only cut the
Oh,
grass, I think.
I was in Pigeon Forge for Jeep
Yeah, yeah,
Invasion.
yeah.
The
That's
the
when the
weekend
weather
was
was a little
nice.
bit nicer. Yeah,
Yeah. But I kept looking at it and going, I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time. I have time. Oh, it's too hot. I can't
yeah.
breathe.
Well, it's not too hot. You had to do it.
Well, and yesterday was like I got up and I walked and I asked the little Alexa Dot, I was like, what's the weather? And she's like, it's 70. I was like, let's get after it. So I threw on some pants and some boots and went out there and got in the weeds, literally in the weeds.
Yeah. Well, I don't think the grass had been cut but one time since we had all of that massive rain because the yard was kind of wet and you could see the tire marks when you cut the grass
Yeah.
the last time. So, and you cut it real quickly because I think we had something going on. You didn't weed eat or all that. So that had, yeah, it was a good bit of work yesterday.
Yeah. Well, and I still haven't done the curb. We're on this weird curb. Does anybody live on a curb? How do you take care of your curb? I bought a torch and I still haven't used it. I gotta learn to use it. I just haven't learned that part yet. You're supposed to be able to burn it, and it comes up way easier and it stops it from growing back faster. Takes care of all that grass in between the where the curb meets the road.
What about just spraying it with weed killer?
That's bad for the environment. Plus, it's expensive. It's very expensive.
Is it?
Yeah,
I don't know. I've
but I
never
could
bothered.
burn it. I mean, I've seen people burn them, but I just haven't. I haven't gotten the tool out to play with it yet.
Yeah, I don't really think
It's sitting in the
playing and
corner.
fire goes together.
Sure, it is. You just got to have it in your head, like Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, no,
You just burn it. No,
no,
maybe it's a guy thing. I don't know. But
I'm sure.
anyway, I got after it, and I didn't watch College Game Day, so it wasn't like our typical hoorah, getting ready for college football kind of thing. I was kind of mentioning it Friday, and I was like, got Georgia playing Clemson, start off the whole season, and it is weird that the first game was actually Florida State and um, Georgia Tech in Ireland a week before. I didn't watch that game. I did see a couple of highlights, but I guess with it starting a week before and it being at night, I didn't watch the game. I heard about it, and I'm not like a huge Florida State fan, although I'll watch their games.
Well, we've got a
Didn't
friend.
catch it.
I mean, our son pulls always has for some reason. Don't know how he got started on that, but he's always been a Florida State fan. And then, of course, one of our really good friends that we hang out with, he is from Florida and has always pulled for Florida State. So, of course, between I guess Phil pulling for Florida State and the Shaws being from Ohio and pulling for Ohio State, we probably keep up with those two teams
Just as
more
much
than we
as our
do.
teams we
Yeah,
follow.
I mean, more. I don't know that I follow a team, so to speak, anymore, but we thought we keep up with those scores as much or more than we even do the state we live in.
Yeah. Well, and like you said, a good game is worth everything.
Yeah,
It
most
doesn't. I don't
definitely.
care who's playing. I mean, there's been some highlights on TV from these games. And I thought, why didn't I watch that game? Holy cow, that was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, remember last season was we got together with the Shaws and with the Hicks and went over to Cheryl's and
We had pajama and taco day,
yes.
and we just sat in our pajamas
I mean,
and
we stayed there from
ate
like
tacos all
we had
day.
two TVs going with that that was a Saturday that there was so many good games
Yeah.
on that we watched football. I think we only didn't watch football for like we played maybe one card game or something,
Yep.
one, and then we were all right back in the living room watching. I mean, we stayed there from like lunch, I want to say, till 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah. The card. I think the card game was during halftime.
Might have been during halftime of one of the games. But I remember watching two different games on two different TVs,
Yeah.
and we did that all day long, and all of us stayed extremely entertained doing that. So
Oh,
that
yeah.
was. I hope we get to do that again. Everybody's been so busy. I hope we get to do that again this year
Yeah. Yeah.
for at least one Saturday.
Yeah. I'm sure we will. I mean, I will.
Yeah.
One way or another, I'll be watching. But yeah. So a lot of fun to kind of kick off the season.
I don't think you're paying as much attention to football as you are Jeeps right now.
I'm a little distracted.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I'm a little distracted. I am looking. I did come home with some T-shirts. One of them was given to me by the Trucker Warehouse people. Really nice people.
I don't think it has anything to do with you coming home with T-shirts.
No, but you can't walk the walk and talk the talk if you're not wearing the gear. So
Oh, is that what it is?
yeah. No, actually, the shirts are really comfortable.
Yeah.
So
that's good to know.
and I'm 50. I can't be wearing Star Wars shirts forever. I gotta like upgrade a little bit in the Jeep and look a little more.
Oh, you're going to go from Star Wars T-shirts to Jeep T-shirts.
It looks a little more sophisticated.
Oh, okay.
Don't you like me in sophistication?
That's why we need a $20,000 toy to go with the T-shirt. Is
Listen,
that what it is?
I'm not saying it has to be 20,000. I'm just saying, if you want something decent, you got to spend a little money.
I guess that just seems like a lot of money for a toy.
I just want to beep beep in the Jeep. Beep beep in the Jeep. Don't you want to go beep beep in the Jeep?
No, I mean, my life will be the exact same if I don't.
So if I get one,
it's got to be a guy thing. Is all I know.
If I end up with one like on the Dukes of Hazzard, can I get you in Daisy Dukes driving around in it?
No,
not
gonna happen.
Tie a shirt off and
no.
Hey, how you doing?
No,
you already got the accent.
I don't get the toys. I don't get the men and their toys. I mean, what if I came home and said I wanted a $20,000 something?
Yeah.
I mean, other than a car to drive back and forth to work or a house to live in.
Okay.
Those are necessities.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, don't get me wrong. They're expensive necessities.
Mm-hmm.
I could have bought a cheaper car. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you could have bought a cheaper truck.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't get.
Hey, they got used Priuses out there for like $6,000.
That's not where I'm headed with this. It's just an expensive toy.
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't get obsessed with a bicycle.
It's hard when you're 260 pounds to ride a bicycle. They tend to break. Yeah. Even bicycles are expensive. Those things are thousands of dollars now. You can't just get like a Huffy. They don't make Huffies.
Well, I'm sure you can get a bicycle for a lot cheaper than $20,000.
Well, they do have $20,000 bicycles as well.
Well, they do have motorized bicycles a lot now.
Yeah. I mean, I remember back when I was in the Marine Corps, I was going to get healthy and I was trying to think like I don't live but maybe 3 miles from where I work, and I could get this bicycle and I could ride it to and from work. That's extra cardio. And my wife at the time would have a vehicle available, so we didn't have to go out and buy another car. And if it's bad weather, okay, I'm in Southern California, no big deal. It's not gonna be bad for long. I can ride a bicycle. So we went and we looked back bicycle shopping, and I actually did some research, and that was before the internet research. That was just like going in the stores and asking questions and asking people who had them. And at the time, Cannondale was seen as like the big bike that you needed to have. It was like the mountain bike that had all the gears, and it was supposedly tough and all this stuff. And I knew a bunch of people riding Cannondales, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna look at a Cannondale. So I went to a bicycle shop and I was like, I want a durable bike, something that's gonna hold up to me riding, this many miles a day, about 5 to 10 miles a day, depending on my gauging. I was bad at gauging back then. So they recommended a bike. It was like $1,200, and I was like, "Oh my god, $1,200!" And we're talking 1,200 in 1996 money. So that was an investment. And I finally picked one, and I said, "Okay, this is going to be the thing. I'm going to ride this bike." And I rode that bike every day for about a month, and every day I rode it, something broke on it. Every single day. And it got to where I was like, this is ridiculous. Like these things shouldn't break on this thing. And that's back when I was skinny. That's back when I was 170 pounds. And yeah, it broke a lot. And so I finally took it back to the place and I was like, listen, these things shouldn't break. Um, I don't I want my money back. And they were like, you can't have your money back. And I was like, listen, I paid $1,200 for this bicycle and it's a piece of crap. Either you give me a bike that is going to hold up or I want my money back. And I finally had to get my credit card company involved because I bought it with the credit card company. I told them what happened and they were like, put them on the phone. And I was like, okay. And I got my money back and I quit riding bicycle. That was the last time I rode a bicycle.
No, we rode a bicycle on vacation
I did
years
ride a
ago.
bicycle on vacation, but that was a $1,200 bike that was a piece of crap.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm
do know
hoping,
that you're seeing, I mean, I've seen way more motorized. The new thing is the motorized bicycles, which
yeah,
I don't get because most of those people are riding the wrong way on the road on those things, and that is
yeah.
very dangerous. I know Lori and I went to the beach because you guys were going to Jeep Invasion. Was it last weekend? Last weekend. And we rode to the beach to spend the day, Sunset Beach, with some friends who were down vacationing from Ohio. And we were in regular, I want to say maybe 2 lane traffic, and a guy come toward us on one of those motorized bicycles on the side of the road riding toward us. I mean,
And they're about 20 or 30 miles an hour.
I mean, it
Yeah.
it was scary. I mean,
Yeah.
it was
Well,
very
and there's,
dangerous. I don't know how in the world a person could do that and not realize how dangerous that is, or not look up what the law is that they are not supposed to be riding against the traffic.
you're supposed to ride a bicycle against traffic. That way you can see what's coming your way and you can avoid it. When it's motorized, though, you're actually going as fast as some of the traffic, so you need to be going the direction of the traffic. Now, here's the crazy part: is we have cameras in trucks now that monitor traffic around us, and nationwide, if you look it up, nationwide incidents of these motorized bicycles getting into accidents where people get hurt. Um, some ridiculous amount, like 99% of the time, it is the person on the bicycle's fault. The cameras have caught these people. They just don't know what they're doing. They run into traffic, they lose control, they forget that you're supposed to obey traffic laws, and they run through stop signs and stoplights and they get hit. And it's usually their fault. And I get it. I mean, when you're on one of these things, I'm sure it can be confusing sometimes because normally on a bicycle, you have basic controls. Stop is your brakes, and then go is pedaling. But if you have a motor involved, maybe you get a little confused. Oh no, there's a stop sign. What do I do? And yeah, you could get hurt. So if you're out there on those things, be careful. If you see them around you, really be careful because you don't want to be involved in something that may not be your fault when they get hurt. So yeah, that's a those things are nice, but they're also super dangerous.
Yeah.
We
Well, I
saw
wouldn't.
some at the Jeep Invasion. People were riding around on them, and I mean, it was you're thinking there's people around. Why are you going 20 miles an hour by us? Because all it takes is one person to be in the way, and all of a sudden they're hurt. The people on the bike are hurt. You know,
Because people are lazy.
I guess. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that's people's nowadays. That's a cheap form of transportation because it's way cheaper than a car, and you don't have to insure it.
Yeah.
But
Well, like the scooters, the little motorized scooters that you see in downtown areas. I mean, Hartsville's even got them now. Um, they charge up. They're electric. You can rent them for the day or rent them for an hour or whatever it is. You just bump your card on it and ride it. Again, same kind of thing. They lose control of them, run into
yeah,
traffic, and get hurt. So I don't know. It it's it's cool technology, but it's going to take a while before people
I mean,
understand what it is they're doing with it.
all the trips or all the different places we've been, and I mean, yeah, I know there's still a lot more places we want to go. We always look at like the touristy type things to do,
Hmm.
and seems like every last single town of these big towns we've been in has either the scooters or the segways.
Yeah.
And I mean, stop and think about it. You have no idea. You're in a town you've never been in before.
Hmm.
The most appropriate thing to do is to climb on a Segway. I mean, that is just the dumbest thing ever. That is, I
Yeah.
mean, those things, number one, people don't ride those things daily, I don't think. I mean, I'm sure
Your
there's
average
some,
person.
not
Yeah.
your average person. I'm sure there's some warehouses out there that probably, I mean, I remember when I was in say outside sales going in places like Harbor Freight over in Dillon. That is a massive, huge warehouse that they had bicycles and those motorized type things indoors that were electric powered because it was such a huge walk or long walk from the back of the building to the front of the building.
Yeah.
And you had like runners and they use those type things. I get that. I don't get going to a town and mixing that in with traffic.
Yeah.
I mean, I will never. I don't think. I mean, I don't think I. I don't. I try hard not to say never. I just do not see me ever climbing on one of those things and trying to sightsee in a town I've never been in. No, I mean,
Well,
I don't even do well on a bicycle path, let alone put me in traffic on a Segway. Yeah, that wouldn't be. It would not turn out well.
listen, you're known for your balance.
No, I'm not known
And
for balance. I used to have balance, but somewhere, I don't know, somewhere along the line of getting old, it just went away all of a sudden. Now it's like hard to stand upright in gym class sometimes without falling over.
Binknell said, the older and fatter I get, when I start falling, well, this is happening.
Yep, just go ahead and go with it. Most
said,
definitely.
He said, my hope is that I get better at falling, so I fall more gracefully.
Yeah. Now we do have a trip coming up this week.
We do.
But we will not be riding any Segways. I have no plans at all for Segways.
I don't know about we, but maybe you.
I have no plans for a Segway.
I don't have any plan for a Segway.
I'll wait for you to get back.
Oh, look, there he goes. And he's off the
And no, I'm not. Nope.
Now he's in traffic.
Now he's a hood ornament. No, not doing that.
He's going the wrong way on a one-way road.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
I can't get off this thing. Help.
But we definitely we're going to Chicago. I've got to go up for for a conference. And we decided while I was up there
to do some sightseeing.
Well, you're gonna come up later in the week as my conference is getting over. And I definitely want to do Chicago's a town we've never been to. Mm-hmm. We've always wanted to go. I mean, I do realize that it is a dangerous city, but so is New York and so is
Atlanta.
And we don't plan on going and staying out till 2 and 3 in the morning. That's not going to happen.
No. And it's like anything else. You do your touristy stuff during the day, and then you go, okay, now let's head back to the room.
Yeah. We're actually staying.
If you stay out of the areas where things are known to happen, nothing's going to happen to you.
And we plan to. We're going to be like, I guess it's called downtown.
Millennium Mile.
We're going to be really, I think from our hotel room
Millennium Park.
Millennium Park.
Yeah.
I think it's called the Miracle Mile.
Miracle Mile. That's
is where like a lot of shops and stuff are at. I don't really know that we are going to do like shopping. I want to see the city, just the actual city. I know that they have great museums. They have a really cool aquarium, I've heard. I don't know that we will spend time doing those two things. I love museums. We've done museums in DC. We've done museums in New York. I want to see the city in general, the architectural of the city. I just want to do some of that type sightseeing. We have heard and we plan. It looks like the weather's going to be decent. Matter of fact, it's going to be cooler than what we're used to this time of year. Looks like it's going to be in like the low 80s for the highs. I think Saturday of next weekend, it doesn't even get to 70 degrees. So that's a little cooler than what we're used to.
Mm-hmm. I'm here for it.
Yeah, it'll be nice. But we will definitely have to pack different than what we're wearing right now, because yesterday it was almost last few days this week, it's been almost 100 degrees.
Yeah.
But we plan to do. The one thing that come the most highly recommended was what I think it's called
architectural water tour.
Yeah, there's like a 90-minute river tour. That's it.
Yeah, because apparently they're known for their architecture.
It's an older city, right?
It is called America's second city.
Yeah. Okay.
New York's supposed to be the first, and Chicago was supposed to be the second. And I'm sure it had to do with their trade that they had right there on the waterway.
I guess I'm hoping we learn a little bit about that while we are,
because you've got access to the Great Lakes, as well as you have the Mississippi River that flows from there.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a huge trade portal.
What lake is that on of the Great Lakes? Do you know?
I think it's Superior.
Lake Superior.
Yeah.
Like I say, we had heard several people who've been says that that river cruise, it's only like 90 minutes long, is what most people do there, and they come away saying that it is a must do.
Yeah. Yeah, that and also deep dish pizza. I want to have
It's
some
Lake
Chicago.
Michigan, actually.
Oh,
Lake Michigan. And
okay.
there's like I say, there's so many things that I would love to do. We will not have time.
I want to go see a Cubs game if we can arrange it.
Yeah,
They're supposed to be playing the Yankees,
the Cubs are playing the Yankees, I think around one ish or
like
something
one
like that on
o'clock. Yeah,
Friday
yeah.
afternoon. My conference is actually over at 3 on Thursday. So we will have a little bit of time. Navy Pier is another place I want to go. You and I have always had great success with like a hop on, hop off type bus tours.
Hmm.
We've even done that in cities like Savannah, where we
Yeah.
had been to Savannah many, many times. I grew up very close to Savannah. So Savannah was a place I had been to numerous times. And you and I went and stayed a long weekend down there and decided to do hop on, hop off. And it was fantastic. I
Yeah.
mean, we saw things, I saw things that I had never knew anything about, even though I lived that close and had been to that town many times.
Hmm.
Usually those companies have really, really good tour guides who gives you history. The thing we like about hop on, hop off is each stop you can get off and see things if you want to. You can do some exploring at that stop, and then you just go back to the bus stop and catch the next bus that comes around.
Yeah, the only town we've been to where that didn't work out as smooth is San Francisco. Um,
I thought that worked out great. Yeah,
uh,
that's where we rode the open top bus over the Golden
yeah,
Gate Bridge.
but we also waited a long time for buses to come back, whereas public transportation there was way more efficient. Knowing kind of the layout of what we wanted to do and where we wanted to go, we probably could have done a lot more just getting on the public transportation bus
I don't know. That takes a lot. I mean, maybe, but that takes a lot more
because
research.
it was like we found out it was like $2 a day, and you could have rode the bus and
Yeah, but hop on, hop off is normally not
they
that
stopped.
expensive. It's like 40, it's under $50 a
They had
person.
a bus that stopped like every 2 minutes at every stop. I was like, wow, this is really interesting.
Yeah, like I said, you have to do a little more research with that though,
Yeah,
because you have to know what route you're getting on, right? Or what line you're getting on.
yeah,
Where with the hop on, hop off, they are scheduled or they are built around the attractions that everybody wants to see.
yeah. I still want to do DC again.
Oh yeah, most
I
definitely.
want to do that again.
I want to do that without kids.
We'll see how the election goes and see whether or not it's
Safe to go to.
safe to go. I mean, depending on how this goes.
I don't. Yeah, I don't
Uh,
even want to talk about
may
that.
not be great to even try that, but yeah, we'll see. Um, so yeah, big trip coming. Big Jeep coming. Beep beep in the Jeep. Um,
There's only two kind of foods I really want to
college
try
football. Yay!
in Chicago. Come to think of it,
You want a hot dog?
yes, most
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Yeah, my brother who works up in that area a good bit, his home office for the company he's worked for years is actually right outside of the O'Hare Airport in Elmhurst, and which is like just a few miles. And he says that by far all the times that he's gone up there, that of course he said you got to try the deep dish pizza.
Sure.
Everybody tries it. Is it good? Yes. It's one of those things where your eyes are definitely bigger than your belly because you think you need a bigger pizza. He's like, trust me, you don't. You need the very smallest that you can get because you're not going to be able to eat but a piece because it is so thick, so has so much cheese. I definitely want to try it. But he also says that the hot dogs, and I can't remember the name uh, of the company that's up there or the chain that's up there that is famous for their hot dogs.
No, I'm sure we'll find it.
Now, I'm not going to do like a hot dog with peppers and that kind of stuff on, and I'm
You
just
don't want to do
not.
a traditional Chicago
No,
dog with
no, because it has like banana peppers and stuff like that.
tomatoes and bacon and
Tomatoes and bacon, yes. I'm just not going to be the kind of person to eat the raw peppers on the hot dog.
yeah.
But I've also heard that they
Oh, the
have,
sweet peppers. Yeah,
yeah, I've also heard that they have so many others.
yeah.
And it what would really be cool would be to try if they had that kind of hot dog at Wrigley Field, if we're able to
Okay.
do that.
Twisting my arm. I'm in it.
Yeah.
I'm in.
And I want to go to the game. I want to see the field. I don't even care if we stay for the whole game. As of right this minute, we've not purchased tickets. We have no plans to purchase tickets.
Yeah. So
It's a
this,
mid-afternoon game. I think we should be able to find tickets.
as the stuff I heard podcast, this is stuff we heard. The stuff I heard was if you wait till the day of the game, um, apparently there's apps out there that you can get tickets at a really reduced price because they're just trying to sell something. And we just want to get in. So we're probably going to look for the cheapest tickets and get in, enjoy a hot dog, see the stadium, take in the sights, maybe enjoy a little bit of the game, and then I don't
And
know,
then
just feel it out, see
yeah.
what happens. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know that I want to spend, and not that the game is that long anymore. The games go by a lot faster than they used
Mhm.
to, but that is in the middle of the afternoon on Friday,
Yeah.
and there's so many other things that we want. There's so many things we want to try to mark off the list while we're there.
Hmm.
I realize we're not going to be able to get them all. It'll have to be a place where, like DC, years later, we're saying, "Oh my gosh, we got to get back to Chicago."
Well, and I mean, every movie and television show I grew up watching that had to do with Chicago either had to do with the rivers or with the L train. And the L train is the elevated train that goes
Right?
north and
Yes.
south there in Chicago. And I remember seeing that in so many television and movie shows and being like, man, there's just something about that that is just like, as soon as I see it, I go, oh, Chicago, how about that? So I don't know. Maybe we'll ride on the L train too.
I would like to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Most definitely during the day. Like I said, we're not going to be out. I mean, they're an hour behind us. And I mean, time is, we not like, what is the word I'm looking for? The time change hasn't happened. So it's still daylight a little bit longer. I would like to not really be out much past dark. Our hotel is like right in the middle of
It's
everything.
not daylight longer. They're behind.
Not,
The
not,
Earth is curved
no,
this
no, I'm
way,
talking
so
about that. I'm
they
just
get
saying
the
it
same
shouldn't
amount of
get
sunlight.
dark at 7 p.m.
Oh,
I'm sure
because it's still summertime.
because it's still summertime.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, it
Yeah.
does stay daylight a little bit longer right now.
Yeah.
So we should be able to at least have a good time of walking
Now
and
you know
looking.
it's called the Windy City,
Yes.
so you gotta make sure to bring a hat.
Oh, I'm going to wear a hat
Your
anyway.
hair's gonna be
Oh,
everywhere.
I'm going to wear a hat
You'll
anyway.
be like, what's happening with my hair? Oh my God.
It looks like there's still tickets available for the game
Cool.
Friday.
Excellent. Excellent.
So the main thing is just getting, even I don't even care if we even get in to sit down. I don't know. I would kind of like to do that though.
Sure, we can.
But I want to not spend I probably don't want to stay the whole game.
I agree. Unless it gets really good and we're like, wow, this is awesome. We'll just play it by ear.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, we're starting to like rub off on each other. You're the make plans person and I'm the wing it person, and we're starting to like do a little bit of both.
Well, no, it's just the fact that it's something I want to experience while we're there.
Yeah.
It is the second oldest stadium
Yeah.
in the league.
It's historic.
I want to see that part.
It's pretty on the TV.
I mean,
wanna
but
see it in
there are
person.
so many other Navy Pier and
Mhm.
the Millennial Park where the cloud it's actually called the sculpture is called the Cloud.
No, it's called the Gate. The Gate, is it Gate Cloud?
Gate Cloud.
Something like that.
People call it the bean.
Yeah, because it kind of looks like a shiny bean.
Kind of
But
looks like a coffee bean.
would they call it like the Cloud Gate or I
Not
don't
a
know.
coffee bean. I guess it looks more like a just
How many coffee beans you know that are chrome?
well, none of them are chrome. Not even pinto beans are chrome. Silly. But
What if it's an alien and is just hanging out there and recording everybody who comes up to it and goes,
but I mean, I've also heard or seen pictures too of just a lot of people around it. And I
Yeah.
guess the cool thing about taking your picture with it is you can see
the city.
you can see the cityscape in the actual structure because of what it's made out of.
Listen, we're going to take our picture in front of it.
Oh,
I know
most
we are.
definitely. Most definitely. I mean, and the good thing is,
Otherwise, did you even go to Chicago?
yeah, our hotel is like from what I've
We
read,
should be able to see it.
we should be able to see that part from our hotel.
Yeah.
Now, our hotel, I do believe, should be a taller. I think it's a tall hotel, a tall building, and I would love to be on a high floor.
Mm.
And a lot of people don't want to do that, but I would love to be up high enough to see the city from the room. That would be
I
awesome.
wonder if we could request it when we check in.
I hope so.
They'll be like, so you want to upgrade to a penthouse? Like, no.
No, we don't want to upgrade to a penthouse. We're only going to be that in that
Can't
hotel
afford
too.
to upgrade a
Well, I
penthouse.
mean, I'm only going to be in that hotel 2 nights, and let's face it, we're not
going to be in the hotel
we're not going to be in there
except to sleep.
until evening when it gets dark, and we're going to be so tired from the day that that's.
Do you think the Sears Tower, or what was known as the Sears Tower, does like the lookout thing,
They
kind of
most
like,
definitely do. It's called the 360 something. It's just like the Empire State Building. You pay to go to the
and
top.
then you can't see anything.
And now that part I don't know.
Yeah.
We went to the top of the Empire State Building at the wrong time. We waited in line for a really long time. Remember, that was
Hmm.
like it took us forever
Yeah.
to get to the elevator to get up to the top. And then by the time, because it was not raining when we went in the building and got in line to wait, by the time we got up to the top, it was raining.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that was a disappointment because but I would have liked to, looking back, we did that, I think maybe evening ish because it was dark.
Well, and Rodney had told us that was going to be kind of a waste. He said, you really can't see anything up there most days. He said, my recommendation is 30 Rock. And we were like, Empire State Building.
Well, I mean, it's just like anything else. Whenever you hear about certain things of different touristy type stuff, and then
And
you go, you want to do that. I
sure,
mean,
it's the check it off the bucket list
yeah,
thing of
most definitely.
went to the Statue of Liberty. Yes, I went to do this. Yes. And then when we went back the second time, we were like, I don't need to do it again. I've done it.
No,
And they're kind of banking on that. I mean, that's why they charge as much as they do, because they're like, most people are going to do this once and that's
right,
it.
right, most
So let's get our
definitely,
money now.
most definitely.
That kind of helps out pay for the bills around here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Are some of those a little overpriced? Most definitely. I mean, there's been a lot of things that we've done that were a little pricey for touristy stuff, but it was well worth it because, like, we'll only do it the one time. The Empire State Building, in my opinion, was definitely overrated and overpriced. Even if I had the opportunity to do it again, I wouldn't. I would do something else. I
mhm.
mean, we've been multiple times since then,
Go to
and
Chinatown and get a new knockoff pocketbook.
no, I'd go to Chinatown and eat
Dim
dim
sum.
sum. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Or at the lobster pot place.
I don't know that Chicago is not, I mean, other than pizza, other than the deep dish pizza, and you hear
Well,
about
they're
their
known for their meat. Like
like
they're
steakhouses, right?
that's like the prime place where apparently the top butcher places
And
are.
see, and I have absolutely no desire to go to one of those type restaurants. Number one, I don't, there's more things I want to do than sit down and have a steak. Does that make sense?
Well, also it helps that your cousin has a butcher shop where they grow the cows, butcher the cows, and it comes straight from there to here where we cooked it.
I think it's
And
called raise the cows, not grow them.
we grow a cow. You grow a cow just like you grow
But
people. We don't call it growing
But like I
people,
say,
but you're
maybe
growing
that's
people.
why I've not. I mean, I'm sure some people that's the one thing they think of when they go or they're going to Chicago is, oh, I want to go to a really good steakhouse. Now there's a lot of steakhouses in Chicago, and they
There's
are.
also, just like New York, there's also like a Chinatown. And yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah, there's places where just a conglomerate of people live where you can get the ethnic foods of the places that they're from. So like I'm sure there'll be a Greek area and I'm sure there'll be a Norwegian area and a Portuguese area and
and see my thoughts on I don't know my thoughts on on having meals like that.
Jamaican food.
Yeah, my thoughts on having meals like that have changed over the years. I would rather do the little bit of something here and there and
Yeah.
try more things than I had go sit down and spend $200+ on one meal.
Well, and also like a city like that, it's going to be some of the best food you're going to eat because they're trying to compete for business with each other.
True.
So they're gonna bring it. I mean, some of the top chefs in the world are there, but I mean, we have examples of that kind of near us in Charleston. Charleston has kind of turned into that. It's turned into a foodie town where if you don't make good food, you're out of
Yeah,
business
true.
because some of the best chefs in the world are living there now, and they're bringing it.
I'm definitely bringing home some Garrett's popcorn. I love Garrett's popcorn.
Is that a carry on?
It is a carry on.
Okay,
I was introduced to Garrett's popcorn years ago. A friend used to go to,
you have to buy an extra bag just for popcorn.
yes, yes. A friend used to go to Chicago every year for a vendor show, and she would bring back Garrett's popcorn. And then I want to say the first time I ever purchased any myself was whenever I was out in Vegas. It is the best popcorn ever. It originated in Chicago, and we are most definitely bringing home Garrett's popcorn. I've
I
got
wonder if
friends.
it's like Lou Gehrig's,
I don't know.
like
I don't know that I've never done the research to find out
if
how
it's
it
a
started.
celebrity related name.
What was no? It's Garrett's.
Tom Garrett.
Who's that?
He's Raymond's brother.
No, is that where they lived?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Everybody Loves Raymond. That's where that show was. That
they
was.
were in the suburbs of Chicago. Yeah, he was a
Oh,
writer for Chicago Tribune.
oh, okay. Now, I mean, I knew he was a sports
They're a
writer,
sports
but I
writer.
didn't know where.
Yeah,
I never thought about that.
yeah.
Not that I watched like a lot of those shows, but anyway.
Even Spider-Man is set there.
Oh, really?
All the old Spider-Man movies. Yeah, remember the train where he stops the train? That's the L train that he stops them
That's
on.
not Monstropolis. Monstropolis. There we go. Monstropolis. Now that's where
My wife
Sully.
just made up a word.
No, no, that's where Sully.
Monstropolis is where
No,
Sully and
that's where
Mike
Sully and Mike
Wazowski live.
Wazowski lives.
I don't think that's in Chicago or New York.
Hey, they're building that in Orlando,
Yes, they are.
and I'm going to go see Monstropolis
Yes,
when
you
they build
are.
it.
Yes, we are. Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I don't think
no
Spider-Man is in Monstropolis.
where did Spider-Man? No, was it Batman? Where did Batman live?
Um,
Where is the Superman?
Superman was Metropolis.
Okay, that was like supposedly New York.
Yeah.
Okay.
Batman was Gotham, which they say that Gotham is Chicago as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They have crossover stuff with Batman and Spider-Man, but anyway, that's a whole thing.
That's a whole story for another whole day.
Yeah, it's another stuff I heard. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up because we're about 41 minutes in now. Just like that.
Time flies when you're.
Beep beep in a Jeep.
I was going to say talking BS, but because that's exactly how that sound that Charlie Brown's teacher makes. Yeah, that's kind of the sound that goes in my head when you start talking Jeeps.
Beep beep in the Jeep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a totally different voice in your head whenever you start thinking Jeeps, but
No, it's the same voice. It's my voice, but whatever.
you just have so many variations of no, I gotta have this. No, I don't want this. No, I've gotta have this.
Well, I mean, yeah, if you're gonna spend that kind of money, you got to know what you want.
I guess. I mean, for all of those, all of those, no, it's got what is the preferences for all of those preferences that you want? That Jeep would cost $100,000.
No, ma'am.
Yes, it would.
We've seen them for less. You can't say 100,000. That's not realistic.
Oh,
I don't want a
goodness.
392. The 392s are 100 grand. I don't want a 392. I mean, granted, the 392s have come down in price. You can probably get one for about 60. But
Oh,
also,
yeah, well, there you go.
I
60.
don't need a 392. That's ridiculous. I mean, if you gave me one, I'd be like, oh my god, for me. Oh. But I mean, I don't need one. So
That's good to know.
yeah, just saying, if it happens to show up, I'd be like,
Oh, yeah, then somebody
oh
just
my
drops
God.
one out of the
Yeah.
sky.
Yeah, like if it's a 392 ferry just comes along and is like, you get a 392.
Oh, now I did. Okay, I tell you what, I did read. I think it was on Facebook. Maybe Tanya Brown or one of the local, like Myrtle Beach, and that's local news for us, posted that a lady in Scranton, South Carolina, I think it was.
Isn't Coward and Scranton kind of the same
It's
town?
kind of no, Coward.
I know they're different. But
No, it's Scranton.
they're near each other.
Yeah, they're very close. Scranton, South Carolina. She had paid for her gas, and she went in the store and paid for her gas. I don't know. I mean, there's not a whole lot of gas stations in Scranton, so she went inside to pay for her gas. She bought a scratch off lottery ticket, scratched it off, standing right there at the counter, and turned the ticket around and showed it to the clerk at the counter. She had won $300,000.
Ooh.
And the clerk told her, you need to take that ticket and go straight home. The woman went out, got in her car, and went straight home, never pumped her gas or anything. And it said that apparently there's like 5 tickets that has that $300,000 jackpot. It gave the odds of you hitting that jackpot, and it was, of course, way better than the lottery. But now I don't know that we've ever done the scratch offs. If you do a scratch off and win $300,000, then by all means go buy a $65,000 Jeep. Go right ahead.
So
knock
you're
yourself
saying
out.
I need to go buy a scratch off lottery ticket?
I'm just saying. If you're feeling lucky.
I don't. I rarely in life have felt lucky.
Yeah, we've never spent money on that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, even years ago when it used to get up, the big lottery would get up to what, a couple of $100 million. We would buy a couple of dollars. We don't even do that anymore.
Well, and I've kind of lived by this belief of luck is something I don't have. What I do have is tenacity. I don't have luck. I have tenacity. I've made a comment in the past to the kids that I thought that I was lucky, and it's not luck. It's just a relentless pursuit of not giving up.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, it's not luck, and it's not magic. If Jacob's listening, it's not magic. Magic isn't real.
No.
So, that's a long joke. Love my family.
We will do a podcast and let everybody know about our trip. I
Okay.
don't know that we'll do it next Sunday when we get back because
I'm told we're supposed to call hot dogs glizzies nowadays.
okay.
That's a thing.
Okay. I never heard of it, but then again, you know.
I work with some younger people, and they're like, "I had some glizzies last night." I'm like, "What?" And they're showing me pictures of hot dogs. I'm like, "Glizzy, okay, okay."
Yeah.
Glizzy.
We fly back Sunday
if
afternoon.
we see a sign that says "Have your Chicago glizzy here," we'll be like, "What is that? Sounds dirty." It's not. It's a hot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But we'll do a follow up.
We'll do a glizzy
We'll
update.
we'll do an update on how the trip, what all we did get to see. I hope that I know it's going to be, we're going to walk some miles, and I want to. I'm looking forward to it.
That's why I got new tennis shoes.
Yep, I'm looking forward to it.
So I can have them to walk in.
Whether or not it's next Sunday, I think we're back in Florence around 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but I don't know that we'll have time.
Yeah,
we'll see.
happen. It'll happen eventually.
Shouldn't be very many dirty clothes here. We won't be here. There's that. Well, we're gonna bring them home with us, though. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Oh well.
Unless we get them washed while we're at the hotel.
No, that's not going to happen either. That's too expensive.
People do that, you know.
People do.
I mean, no. I haven't done that, but people do that.
No, I'll bring my dirty clothes home.
Yeah.
So along with some Garrett's popcorn, but I'm not going to pack those two things in the same bag.
And I'd like to bring home pizza, but I'm not going to bring home
pizza. No, you're not bringing home pizza.
That probably won't check well.
No, and we're not taking pizza back to the room because we don't have refrigerators or microwaves in these rooms.
You don't think I can eat it all?
No. Oh. No, I do not. Mainly because I don't want just pizza. I want pizza and a salad. So I'm just going to have like salad and 1/2 of a slice of pizza, I'm sure. Because I've been told these pizzas are, they're 5 inches thick.
I think when you order your salad, it's going to come like this.
Oh, yeah. The salad's going to be huge.
You're going to be like, how am I supposed to eat a pizza and this?
Well, that's why we're going to split both. We're going to share both.
I like it.
We're going to share. We're going to get a salad and split it. And then we're going to get the very smallest deep dish pizza they make.
Do you think their ice cream tastes better?
I'm not worried about ice cream. I don't think of ice cream when I think of Chicago.
I mean, I was just thinking about the fact that they get all this meat to process there. They got to be near farms. So farms are near dairy and dairy's near ice cream. So
I don't know.
Maybe.
I'm not saying we won't eat ice cream while we're gone, but I just don't think that that's like, hey, they have great ice cream.
We'll do it. We'll send a picture to Danny Shaw and be like, hey, buddy, thinking of you.
Yeah.
We'll do like a little spoon thing where we tap spoons like ding.
No.
That's not what I intended that prop for.
Yeah.
That's actually just it's a back scratcher, see?
Okay, I think it's time to wrap this up.
Once in a while,
because now we're getting way too far out there.
I need to scratch. Listen.
Yeah.
This is stuff I heard, and it's also stuff I've seen because it's on YouTube. So for those listening, I do have a YouTube page. You gotta watch it. That's where you get the fun antics of seeing my wife off camera. All right. Thank you for being a part of this. I love you.
Oh, thank God.
Look forward to going on this trip and seeing Chicago with you. I'd rather do this with you than anybody.
I'm looking forward to it too.
My baby doll. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. Please remember to rate, review, subscribe, share this with your friends. If you see us in Chicago, say, hey, what's up? Because we love that kind of stuff. Not that we're famous.
Or if you listen to this before we go, our tens of people that listen to this.
Listen.
If you have any suggestions, please reach out. Let us know.
Yeah. I rely on all 10s of you.
We do too.
Yeah.
Yep.
So thanks for listening, and y'all take care. And as always,
cue the cow, baby.
Cue the cow, moo, baby.